Mom, I already sold your house. We need the money. I was standing in my kitchen holding a coffee cup when my daughter Rachel said those words. The cup slipped from my fingers and shattered on the floor. Coffee splashed across my feet, burning through my slippers, but I couldn't move. I just stood there staring at the broken pieces while Rachel kept talking. The closing was last week. The new owners take possession in 30 days. I've already found you a senior apartment near the bus line. It's small, but you don't need all this space anyway. You're 60 years old, Mom. It's time. You sold my house. My voice didn't sound like mine. It sounded like it was coming from underwater. I had to. Tom got the promotion in Denver, and we needed money for the down payment. You put my name on the deed 8 years ago, remember? When Dad died. You said it would make things easier if something happened to you. Well, it did. Everything's legal. My lawyer made sure. I looked down at the coffee spreading across my kitchen floor. The floor Marcus and I had picked out together. The floor where we'd danced on our anniversary. The floor where he'd collapsed the morning he died. Rachel, this is my home. It's just a house, Mom. And honestly, I've been worried about you rattling around in there all alone. This is better. The apartment is near everything. You won't have to worry about maintenance or yard work or any of it. I'm doing you a favor. My legs found the kitchen chair. I sat down hard. Outside the window, I could see my garden, the roses Marcus had planted, the bird feeder we'd hung together, the life we'd built here for 32 years. When were you going to tell me? I'm telling you now. Look, Mom, I don't have time to argue about this. We're moving tomorrow. The truck is already packed. Maya and Connor are so excited about Denver, new house, new schools, new adventure. This is what's best for our family. I'm your family. There was a pause, a long one. I heard Rachel sigh. Of course you are, but you have to understand, Mom, this opportunity doesn't come twice. Tom's been working toward this for years, and that house is falling apart anyway. The roof leaks. The furnace is ancient. You can't take care of it by yourself. I'm actually helping you, even if you can't see it right now. I thought about the roof. Marcus and I had it repaired 5 years before he died. It was fine. The furnace worked perfectly. But Rachel wasn't really talking about the house. She was talking about me. About how I couldn't take care of things. About how I needed her to make decisions for me. I never gave you permission to sell my house. You gave me power of attorney 3 years ago, remember? When you thought you might need surgery, you signed the papers at my kitchen table. That includes property decisions, Mom. My lawyer confirmed everything. The sale is final. The money is already in our account. I remembered that day. Rachel had put papers in front of me. She'd been so helpful, so concerned. Just in case, she'd said. So I can help you if something happens. I'd trusted her. I'd signed because she was my daughter. Where am I supposed to go? I told you. The apartment. I already paid first month's rent. You have 30 days to pack. I'll hire movers to help. You won't have to do anything. We can donate most of your furniture. You won't need it in a 1-bedroom. I looked around my kitchen. At the table where Rachel had done her homework, at the counters where I'd made her birthday cakes, at Marcus's coffee mug still sitting by the sink because I couldn't bring myself to move it. This is where your father died. I know, Mom, and maybe that's the problem. Maybe you've been holding on to the past too long. Dad's been gone 8 years. You need to move forward. This is good for you. You'll see. Something in my chest cracked, not my heart, something deeper. The place where I'd kept my trust in my daughter, the place where I'd believed that family meant something. I have to go, Rachel said. The movers are coming early. I'll text you the apartment address. You can go look at it this week. I love you, Mom. Even if you're mad right now, I love you. She hung up. I sat at my kitchen table in the broken coffee, in the house my daughter had sold without asking me, and I couldn't cry. I just felt empty, like something had been carved out of me, and I was still figuring out what was missing. If this sounds familiar, stay with me. You can like and subscribe. We talk about things we don't say out loud. I called my best friend Julie. She answered laughing at something. Her grandkids probably, and then heard my voice. Janet, what's wrong? Rachel sold my house. The laughter stopped. What? She used the power of attorney. She sold it last week. I have 30 days to leave. I'm coming over, right now. She was there in 20 minutes. She found me still sitting at the table, coffee still on the floor, still wearing my wet slippers. She didn't say anything. She just sat down and took my hand. I told her everything. The phone call, Denver, the apartment. The way Rachel said, it's just a house, like it wasn't the place where I'd lived my entire adult life. Like the walls didn't hold every memory of Marcus, like I could just pack up my marriage into boxes and be grateful she was helping me. Julie's face went white. That's not legal. Power of attorney doesn't work that way, not for selling property. She would have needed specific authorization. She said her lawyer confirmed it. Then either she's lying or she forged something. Janet, you need your own lawyer, first thing tomorrow. She's moving to Denver tomorrow. With my grandchildren. If I fight her, I lose them. Julie squeezed my hand tighter. Honey, I think she's already taking them away. After Julie left, I walked through my house, room by room, touching the walls, memorizing what I thought I was about to lose. But here's what Rachel didn't know. Here's what she didn't consider in her rush to take what she thought was hers. 8 years ago, when Marcus was dying, he'd made me promise something. He'd held my hand in our bedroom upstairs and made me swear I'd never let anyone take this house from me. Not Rachel, not anyone. She doesn't understand what home means yet, he'd whispered, but someday she'll try to take it. Promise me you'll be ready. I'd promised. And Marcus, my careful, planning husband, had made sure I could keep that promise. In our bedroom closet, behind the winter coats, there was a safe. Inside that safe was a folder. And inside that folder was the real deed to this house. The one Rachel didn't know about. Because 8 years ago, right before he died, Marcus had done something we'd never told Rachel, something that was about to change everything. I fell asleep that night, still dressed, still on top of the covers, and when I woke up at dawn, I knew exactly what I had to do. Rachel thought she'd sold my house. She thought it was over. She thought she'd won. But what my daughter didn't know was going to break her heart the same way she'd just broken mine. I need to tell you about the day Marcus made me promise, because that day is the reason I'm not packing boxes right now. That day is the reason Rachel's plan is about to fall apart. It was 6 weeks before he died. The cancer had spread everywhere by then. He couldn't get out of bed anymore. I was sleeping in the chair next to him because I couldn't bear to be more than a few feet away. Rachel had visited that morning. She'd brought the kids, but they'd stayed downstairs. Maya was only 1. Connor wasn't born yet. Rachel had sat on the edge of Marcus's bed and held his hand. Dad, I've been thinking, she'd said, about after. About Mom being here alone. What if we put my name on the house deed? Just as a backup. So if anything happens to her, everything's already arranged. No probate, no mess. It would give me peace of mind. Marcus had looked at her for a long moment. Then he'd said, Let me think about it. After she left, he'd been quiet for hours. I thought he was sleeping. But when I checked on him around midnight, his eyes were open. He was staring at the ceiling. Janet, come here! I sat on the bed next to him. He took my hand. His grip was weak, but his eyes were sharp, clear in a way they hadn't been in weeks. Rachel's going to try to take this house from you. Marcus, don't. She's our daughter. She's just worried about me. No. His voice was firm. I've been watching her, Janet. The way she looks at this place, the way she talks about when you're gone like I'm already dead. The way she's calculating. I know my daughter, and I know what she's going to do. You're wrong. I hope I am. But I need you to promise me something. Promise me you'll never let anyone take this house from you. This is your home, yours and mine, the life we built. Don't let her erase that. I'd started crying then. I promise. I mean it, Janet. She's going to push. She's going to use the fact that you're alone, that you're grieving. She's going to make you feel like you can't handle things, but you can. You're stronger than she thinks. 2 days later, Marcus called his lawyer to the house. I thought he was updating his will. He did that too. But he did something else, something he made me swear I wouldn't tell Rachel about, not until it was necessary. He transferred the house into a living trust, with me as the sole trustee and beneficiary. Then he put the original deed, the trust documents, and a letter he'd written in a fireproof safe in our closet. He gave me the combination and made me memorize it. She can't sell what she doesn't own, he'd said. And she doesn't own this house. You do. Only you. Even if she somehow gets her name on some paperwork, even if she tries to forge something, the trust supersedes everything. This house is protected. You're protected. Marcus, this feels wrong. Like we don't trust our own daughter. I don't trust what grief and money can do to people, he'd said. I've seen it happen. Good people turn into strangers when inheritance is involved. I hope I'm wrong about Rachel. I hope she proves me wrong. But if she doesn't, you'll be ready. He died 3 weeks later, in our bed, holding my hand. His last words were, "Don't forget the safe." I'd cried so hard I thought I might die too. The grief was physical. It lived in my chest and made it hard to breathe. Rachel had been helpful in those first weeks. She'd arranged the funeral, dealt with the paperwork, been there when I couldn't function. But about a month after Marcus died, she brought papers to my house. Just some things to sign, Mom, to make everything official. Dad wanted me on the deed, remember? This just makes it legal. I'd been so deep in grief I could barely see straight. But I remembered Marcus's words. I remembered the safe. I remembered my promise. I can't sign that, I'd said. Rachel's face had changed, just for a second. Something cold flickered across it. Then she'd smiled. It's okay, Mom, we can do it later, when you're feeling better. But she'd never brought it up again, not directly. Instead, she'd started a different campaign. Little comments, little suggestions. Mom, this house is so big for just you. Mom, wouldn't a condo be easier? Mom, I worry about you on these stairs. Mom, the yard is too much work. Every visit, every phone call, chipping away at me, making me doubt myself. Making me feel like I was too old, too fragile, too incapable to manage my own life. And then 3 years ago, I'd had a health scare. Some tests that needed to be done. I'd been scared. Rachel had been so helpful, so loving. She'd driven me to appointments, held my hand. And one day at her kitchen table, she put papers in front of me. Just power of attorney, Mom, in case you need surgery and can't make decisions for yourself, just temporary, just to help you. I'd signed them. Because she was my daughter. Because I was scared. Because I wanted to believe she was trying to help me. The tests came back fine. I didn't need surgery. But Rachel kept those papers. Now, sitting in my house the morning after her phone call, I understood what Marcus had seen 8 years ago. Rachel hadn't been trying to help me. She'd been planning this, positioning herself, waiting for the right moment, and she'd thought that moment had come. I walked upstairs to my bedroom, to the closet. Behind the winter coats, there was the safe. I hadn't opened it in 8 years. I'd known it was there, but I hadn't needed it. Until now. My hands were shaking as I entered the combination. Marcus's birthday, the numbers Marcus had chosen because he knew I'd never forget them. The safe opened. Inside was a folder, thick with documents. I pulled it out and sat on my bedroom floor, my back against Marcus's side of the closet, and I opened it. The first document was the trust. The house was held in the Janet Thompson Living Trust. I was the sole trustee, the sole beneficiary. The document was dated 6 weeks before Marcus died. It was notarized, legal, ironclad. The second document was the deed, the real deed, showing the house as property of the trust. Not in my name, not in Rachel's name, in the trust's name. Which meant Rachel couldn't sell it. Whatever paperwork she'd filed, whatever she thought she'd done, it wasn't valid. Because she didn't own this house, the trust did. And I controlled the trust. The third document was a letter, in Marcus's handwriting, addressed to me. My dearest Janet, if you're reading this, it means Rachel did exactly what I was afraid she'd do. I'm sorry, my love. I'm sorry I was right. But you're not helpless. You're not at her mercy. This house is yours, legally, completely, forever. She can't take it from you. I know you're hurting right now. I know she's broken your heart. But you're stronger than you think. You've always been stronger than you think. Don't let her make you believe you're too old or too weak to stand up for yourself. You're the woman who built this life with me. You're the woman who held us together through everything. You're the woman I've loved for 35 years. Fight for our home, Janet. Fight for yourself. I love you. Always. Marcus. I sat on that closet floor and cried. But this time it wasn't hopeless crying. It was relief. It was rage. It was love for a husband who'd protected me even after he was gone. Rachel thought she'd sold my house. She'd told the buyers. She'd taken their money. She'd probably already spent it on her down payment in Denver. But she'd sold something she didn't own, and when the truth came out, she was going to lose everything. I called Julie. I found it, I said. Marcus protected the house. It's in a trust. Rachel doesn't own anything. The sale isn't valid. Julie was quiet for a moment. Then, "Oh, Janet, what are you going to do?" I looked at Marcus's letter, at his words. "Fight for our home, fight for yourself. I'm going to call a lawyer," I said, "and then I'm going to call Rachel, and I'm going to tell her the truth." When? I thought about that. Rachel was moving to Denver today. She'd already taken the buyer's money. She'd already made promises she couldn't keep. "Not yet," I said. "Let her get to Denver. Let her settle in. Let her feel safe." "Janet, she took my home without asking, Julie. She gets to feel what that's like." I called a lawyer the next morning. His name was David Chen, and Julie's daughter had used him for her divorce. He agreed to see me that afternoon. I brought everything: the trust documents, the deed, Marcus's letter, the power of attorney Rachel had made me sign. I spread it all out on his desk and watched his face change as he read through the papers. Finally, he looked up at me. "Mrs. Thompson, your husband was very thorough. This trust is airtight. Your daughter had no legal authority to sell this house." None. "So the sale isn't valid?" "The sale is a disaster." He leaned back in his chair. "Your daughter accepted money for property she doesn't own and can't transfer. That's fraud. The buyers are going to discover this as soon as they try to record the deed. And when they do, they're going to want their money back immediately, plus damages, plus legal fees." I felt my stomach drop. How much trouble is she in? Significant trouble. She could face criminal charges, civil lawsuits. If she's already spent the money, which you said she has, she'll have to find a way to repay it. We're talking about a substantial amount of money, and she's now legally liable for all of it. I thought about Rachel in Denver, unpacking boxes in her new house, enrolling Maya and Connor in their new schools, happy, secure, believing she'd gotten away with it. "What do I need to do?" I asked. "First, I'll file documents with the county recorder's office showing the trust's ownership. That will officially block the fraudulent sale. Then we wait. The buyers will discover the problem probably within a week or two. They'll contact their lawyer. Their lawyer will contact whoever Rachel used. And then it's going to get very loud, very fast." "Do I need to tell Rachel?" He was quiet for a moment. "That's up to you. Legally, you don't owe her advance warning. Morally," he paused, "she's your daughter, but she did try to steal your house, so I'd say the moral question is complicated." I left his office with copies of everything. David said he'd start the paperwork immediately, that I should expect things to move quickly once the buyers realized what had happened. I drove home in a daze. Part of me wanted to call Rachel right then, to tell her what was coming, to give her a chance to fix it somehow. But another part of me, the part that was still raw from her coldness on the phone, wanted her to feel exactly what I'd felt. The shock, the betrayal, the floor dropping out from under her. Julie came over that evening. "What did the lawyer say?" "He said Rachel committed fraud." That she's going to be sued? That she could face criminal charges? Julie's hand went to her mouth. Oh my God! She took their money, Julie, probably a lot of it, and she's already spent it on her house in Denver. She can't give it back. What are you going to do? I thought about Marcus's letter, about how he'd known, about how he'd tried to protect both of us, even from our own daughter. I'm going to wait, I said. David is filing the paperwork. The buyers will find out. And then Rachel will call me. And when she does, I don't know yet. 3 days passed. Rachel sent me a text on the second day with a photo of Maya and Connor in front of their new house. They were smiling, holding a sign that said, Denver or bust. The message said, the kids love it here already. New adventure. I stared at that photo for a long time. My grandchildren. Growing up in a city I'd never visited, in a house bought with money Rachel had stolen from the sale of my home. A home she didn't have the right to sell. I didn't respond to the text. On the 4th day, Julie called me. Janet, turn on your phone. Rachel's been trying to reach you. I'd turned my phone off. I couldn't handle hearing her voice yet. Couldn't handle pretending everything was fine. But I turned it on now. 7 missed calls, 12 text messages. The last one, sent 10 minutes ago, said, Mom, call me right now. Emergency. My hands were shaking as I called her back. She answered before the first ring finished. Mom. Oh my God, Mom, something terrible happened. What's wrong? Are the kids okay? The kids are fine. It's the house, your house. The buyers are saying the sale isn't valid. They're saying I didn't have the right to sell it. Their lawyer called my lawyer, and my lawyer is freaking out. He's saying I could be sued, that I could go to jail. Mom, what is happening? I sat down at my kitchen table. The same table where I'd sat 4 days ago when she'd told me she'd sold my house. I felt strangely calm. The house is in a trust, Rachel. Your father put it in a trust before he died. I'm the only trustee. You never had the authority to sell it. Silence. Long and heavy. Then, what? Dad knew you'd try to take it from me. So, he protected it. The trust owns the house. Not me, not you, the trust. And I'm the only one who controls it. That's not possible. I had power of attorney. My lawyer said, Aya, your lawyer was wrong. Or you lied to your lawyer about what authority you actually had. Either way, the sale is fraudulent, the buyers want their money back, and you don't have it anymore, do you? I heard her breathing, fast and panicked. Mom, you have to fix this. You have to sign papers or do something. I can't go to jail. I have kids. I have a career. This was supposed to help us. This was supposed to be our fresh start. You stole my house, Rachel. I didn't steal it. I thought I had the right. I thought Dad put me on the deed. You thought wrong, and you didn't even ask me. You just did it. You called me and told me I had 30 days to get out of my own home. Because I thought it was half mine, because I thought Dad wanted me to have it. Dad wanted me to have it, only me. That's why he created the trust. That's why he made me promise never to let anyone take it. Her voice cracked. He knew? He knew I would do this? He knew you'd try? I heard her start crying, real crying, not the manipulative kind, the desperate kind. Mom, please. You don't understand. We put everything into this move. The down payment on this house. Moving expenses. We're broke. If I have to pay back the buyers, we'll lose everything. Tom will lose his job. We'll have to declare bankruptcy. Please, Mom, please fix this. Part of me wanted to, the mother part. The part that still remembered rocking her to sleep when she had nightmares, but the part of me that was sitting in the house she'd tried to steal, the house where Marcus died protecting me, that part was stronger. I can't fix this, Rachel. You did this. You have to face it. You won't help me. You didn't help me. You tried to make me homeless. I was going to give you an apartment. You were going to put me in a senior apartment and take my home. My life, everything Marcus and I built, without even asking. So no, Rachel. I'm not going to save you from the consequences of what you did. She was quiet for a long moment. When she spoke again, her voice was different. Cold. I can't believe you're doing this to your own daughter. I can't believe my own daughter tried to steal my house. You're going to regret this. When I'm in jail and your grandchildren are asking why Grandma let Mummy go to prison, you're going to regret this. Maybe, I said, but right now I regret trusting you. She hung up. I sat at my kitchen table for a long time after that. The house was quiet around me, Marcus's chair in the living room, his coffee cup by the sink. The life we built together, still here, still mine. Julie came over an hour later. She didn't ask what happened. She just sat with me. Did you tell her? She finally asked. I told her. How did she react? She asked me to fix it, to sign papers, to save her from what she did. And you said? I said no. Julie squeezed my hand. You did the right thing. Then why does it feel so terrible? Because she's your daughter, and you love her, even when she doesn't deserve it. The next week was quiet. Rachel didn't call, didn't text. I heard through my sister Emma that the buyers had filed a lawsuit, that Rachel's lawyer was trying to negotiate, that Tom was furious, that Rachel was falling apart. I felt sad, not guilty, just sad. Sad that this was what our relationship had become. Sad that Marcus had been right. Sad that my daughter had chosen money over me. But I didn't regret protecting my home. I didn't regret standing up for myself. I didn't regret finally saying no. 2 weeks after Rachel's panicked phone call, I got a letter from a law firm in Denver. It was addressed to me, but it was about Rachel. The buyers were suing her for fraud. They wanted their money back, plus damages, plus legal fees. The total amount made my hands shake when I read it. The letter said I wasn't being sued because the trust protected me. But they wanted me to confirm in writing that Rachel had no authority to sell the house, that she'd acted without my knowledge or consent. David Chen helped me write the response. It was 1 paragraph, true and simple. My daughter had no authority to sell this property. The house is held in a trust of which I am the sole trustee. I did not authorize this sale and was not informed of it until after it had allegedly taken place. Signing my name to those words felt like signing away my daughter. Julie was with me when I mailed it. You're doing what you have to do, she said. I know, it just doesn't feel good. It's not supposed to. 3 days later, my sister Emma called. She'd been in touch with Rachel. Janet, she's in bad shape. Tom is furious. He's talking about divorce. They might lose the house in Denver. Rachel's not eating, not sleeping. She's falling apart. What does she want me to do, Emma? She wants you to help her. To testify that it was a misunderstanding, to say you would have approved the sale if she'd asked. But I wouldn't have, I know. But she's desperate. And she's still your daughter. I thought about that, about the baby I'd held, the little girl who'd climbed into my lap when she was scared, the teenager who'd called me her best friend. Where had that girl gone? When had she become someone who could look me in the eye and take everything from me? I can't lie in court, Emma, even for her. Emma was quiet. I understand. I just wanted you to know what's happening. After we hung up, I sat in Marcus's chair. I'd been sitting there a lot lately. It made me feel close to him, like he was still here, still protecting me. Did I do the right thing? I said out loud to the empty room, to Marcus, to myself. The house was quiet. But I felt like I knew what Marcus would say. He'd say I did exactly what I needed to do. That protecting myself wasn't cruel, that Rachel had made her choices and now she had to live with them. A month passed. I heard bits and pieces through Emma. Rachel had to take out a loan to pay back some of the money. Tom's parents helped with the rest. They were staying in Denver, but things were strained. Tom blamed Rachel for everything. The kids didn't understand why Mummy was always crying. I felt sad about that, about Maya and Connor caught in the middle of something they didn't create, but I couldn't fix it. Rachel had to fix it, if she could. Then one afternoon my phone rang, a number I didn't recognize. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. Grandma Janet? My heart stopped. Maya? Hi, Grandma. Mommy doesn't know I'm calling. I found your number in her phone. I miss you. I started crying right there in my kitchen. I miss you too, sweetheart, so much. Why don't you come visit us? Mommy said you didn't want to see us anymore. But I don't think that's true, is it? No, baby, that's not true at all. I would love to see you. Can you come, please? Connor misses you too. He cries sometimes and asks where you are. I heard a door open in the background. Then Rachel's voice sharp. Maya, who are you talking to? Give me that phone right now. I have to go, Grandma. I love you. I love you too, H. The line went dead. I sat there holding my phone, crying so hard I could barely breathe. Julie found me like that an hour later. I told her about Maya's call, about how she missed me, about how Rachel had told them I didn't want to see them. That's cruel, Julie said. Using the kids like that, she's hurting. She's lashing out. I understand it, but it doesn't make it right. What are you going to do? I thought about that, about Maya's voice, about Marcus's letter, about fighting for what mattered. I'm going to send them cards every week with my phone number written inside so they know I'm here, so they know I love them. Rachel can't keep me from doing that. And I did. Every week I sent cards to Maya and Connor, just simple ones, thinking of you, missing you, love you always. With my phone number at the bottom, with little drawings of flowers or birds or hearts. I didn't know if they got them, but I sent them anyway. 2 months after Rachel's phone call, I got a certified letter from her lawyer. Rachel was suing me. She was claiming that Marcus had promised to leave her the house, that the trust was invalid because he'd made it under duress while dying, that I'd manipulated him into cutting her out. David Chen read the lawsuit and shook his head. This is desperation. She has no case. Marcus was mentally competent when he created the trust. It's thoroughly documented. She's grasping at straws. Will I have to go to court? Probably. But don't worry, we have everything we need to win. This is just Rachel trying to find a way out of the mess she created. Wow! The court date was set for 3 months out. Those were long months, quiet months. I spent them in my house, in my garden, in the life Marcus and I had built, the life I'd fought to keep. I spent them thinking about Rachel, about who she'd become, about whether I'd failed her somehow as a mother, whether I'd loved her too much or not enough. Whether any of this could have been different. But I kept coming back to the same truth. I'd raised her with love, I'd given her everything I could, and she'd still chosen to hurt me. That wasn't my fault. That was her choice. Julie and Emma rallied around me. Emma even offered to come to court with me. My brother Leo called and said if Rachel showed up, he'd have some words for her. I loved them all for that, for being the family that showed up when it mattered. The week before the court date, I got another call from an unknown number. This time I answered immediately, hoping it was Maya again. It wasn't. It was Tom. Janet, it's Tom, Rachel's husband. I need to talk to you. Okay. Rachel doesn't know I'm calling. But this lawsuit, this whole thing, it needs to stop. She's destroying our family, our marriage, everything. I've tried to get her to drop it, but she won't listen. She's convinced she's right. That you're the villain in this story. I'm not the one who tried to steal her mother's house. I know, and I told her that, over and over. I told her what she did was wrong, but she can't hear it. She's so deep in denial and anger that she can't see reality anymore. I was quiet. I didn't know what to say. I'm leaving her, Tom said. I'm filing for divorce. I can't do this anymore, but I want you to know the kids love you. And when this is settled, when things calm down, I'm going to make sure you can see them. Rachel doesn't get to take them away from you. That's not right. I started crying. Thank you. I'm sorry this happened. I'm sorry I didn't stop her. I should have known something was wrong when she was so secretive about the house sale. I should have asked more questions. You're not responsible for her choices, Tom. None of us are. After we hung up, I felt something shift inside me. Relief, hope, the knowledge that Maya and Connor wouldn't be lost to me forever, that someone was standing up for what was right. The court date came. I walked into that courthouse with David Chen on one side and Julie on the other. Rachel was there with her lawyer. She wouldn't look at me. The hearing lasted less than an hour. David presented the trust documents. Marcus's medical records showing he was competent. The lawyer's notes from when the trust was created. The judge listened, asked a few questions, and then made his ruling. The trust is valid. The lawsuit is dismissed. Furthermore, I'm ordering the plaintiff to pay the defendant's legal fees. This was a frivolous case that should never have been filed. Rachel stood up. But, Your Honor, that's my inheritance. My father promised Ida. Your father had the right to leave his property however he chose, and he chose to protect his wife. That's the end of it. Case dismissed. I walked out of that courthouse feeling lighter than I had in months. It was over, finally over. Rachel left Denver 3 months later. Tom got custody of the kids. He moved back to our state, just an hour away, and true to his word, he brought Maya and Connor to see me. When they ran into my house, into my arms, I felt whole again, not completely. The hurt Rachel caused would always be there. But this, having my grandchildren back, being in my home, this was enough. It's been a year since Rachel tried to sell my house. A year since that phone call that shattered everything I thought I knew about my daughter. I'm sitting in my garden right now. The rosemary I dropped that day is thriving. I replanted it, and it's grown twice as big. Sometimes I think about that, about how things can be dropped, broken, and still grow back stronger. Rachel and I don't speak. She left Denver after the divorce. I heard through Emma that she moved to Arizona, started over somewhere nobody knew what happened. I hope she finds peace there. I really do. But I don't miss her phone calls. I don't miss wondering when she'd ask for something or try to take something. I miss who I thought she was. But I don't miss who she actually became. Tom brings the kids every other weekend. Maya is 9 now. Connor is 7. They run through this house like it's theirs, and in a way it is. This is their history too. Their grandfather's love, their grandmother's strength. Someday, when they're older, I'll tell them the whole story. But for now, they just know that Grandma's house is always here, always safe, always theirs to come home to. Maya asked me last month why her mum doesn't visit. I didn't know what to say. How do you explain to a 9-year-old that her mother tried to steal from her grandmother? That she chose money over family? That some betrayals are too deep to come back from? Sometimes grown-ups make mistakes, I finally said, and sometimes those mistakes hurt so much that people need space from each other. Do you hate Mommy? She asked. I thought about that, really thought about it. No, sweetheart, I don't hate her. I'm just very sad about the choices she made. Will you ever be friends again? I don't know, maybe someday, but right now we both need to heal. She seemed to accept that. Kids are resilient that way. They take the truth you give them and keep growing anyway. Julie comes over every Tuesday for coffee. We sit at my kitchen table, the same table where I got Rachel's phone call, and we talk about everything. Our grandkids, our gardens, the book club we joined, the life I'm building in the space Rachel tried to take from me. You're different now, Julie said last week. Stronger, less apologetic about taking up space. She was right. I am different. For years after Marcus died, I'd felt like I was shrinking, getting smaller and quieter, trying not to be a burden, trying not to need too much. Rachel had encouraged that, made me feel like my needs didn't matter, like I should be grateful for whatever crumbs she threw my way. But fighting for this house taught me something. It taught me that I'm allowed to take up space. I'm allowed to say no. I'm allowed to protect what's mine even from my own daughter. Especially from my own daughter. Emma visits once a month. She and Leo both apologized for not seeing what Rachel was doing sooner, for not stepping in. I told them it wasn't their fault, that Rachel had been careful, subtle, the way manipulators always are. Mom would be proud of you, Emma said last time she was here, standing up for yourself like that, not backing down. Our mother Scarlett had been a strong woman. Practical. No nonsense. She'd raised us to be independent, to think for ourselves. I'd lost some of that over the years. Lost it in grief and loneliness and the desperate need to keep my daughter close. But I'd found it again. in the fight for my home, in the choice to save myself instead of saving Rachel from her own choices. I've started doing things I'd stopped doing. I painted the bedroom, Marcus's and mine, a soft grey-blue that makes me feel calm. I bought new curtains. I planted a vegetable garden. I'm taking a watercolor class at the community center. I'm living, really living, not just existing in the space between Rachel's phone calls, not just waiting to be needed, living for myself. Sometimes I walk through this house and I feel Marcus here, not in a sad way, in a comforting way, like he's proud of me, like he's saying, "I told you so," in the gentle way he always did. He knew I could be strong. He knew I would fight when it mattered. He just had to make sure I had the tools to do it, the trust, the documents, the letter. They were his final gift to me, not just the house, but the permission to protect myself. The reminder that I deserved to be protected. If stories like this resonate, stay connected, like and subscribe. We talk about real things here. I got a letter from Rachel 3 months ago. Emma forwarded it to me. I almost didn't open it. But curiosity won. It wasn't an apology, not really. It was an explanation about how stressed she'd been. How desperate, how she'd convinced herself that the house was partially hers anyway, that I didn't need it, that she was just taking what was rightfully hers. There was no acknowledgement of the pain she'd caused. No recognition that trying to make your mother homeless is wrong, no matter how you justify it. It was all about her stress, her needs, her justification. I read it once. Then I put it in a drawer. Maybe someday I'll want to read it again. Maybe someday it'll mean something different. But right now, it just makes me sad. I wrote back, 1 sentence. "I hope you find peace, Rachel. I finally have." I don't know if she ever responded. I didn't check. People ask me sometimes if I regret it, if I wish I'd just signed papers and let her have the house, let her win to keep the peace. Kept my daughter, even if it meant losing myself. The answer is no. I don't regret it, not for a second. Because this house isn't just walls and a roof. It's every morning Marcus kissed my forehead, every Christmas with Rachel as a little girl, every ordinary Tuesday of a life well lived. It's the physical proof that I mattered, that my marriage mattered, that I'm allowed to have something that's mine and fight to keep it. I'm 61 now. I don't know how many years I have left in this house, but however many they are, they're mine, chosen, fought for, earned. Maya and Connor will remember their grandmother as someone who stood up for herself, who didn't let anyone, not even family, take what wasn't theirs to take, who taught them that love shouldn't cost you everything, that boundaries aren't mean, that protecting yourself is an act of self-respect, not selfishness. That's the legacy I want to leave them. Not just a house, but the knowledge that they're worth fighting for, that they never have to shrink themselves to keep someone else comfortable, that they can say no and still be good people. Last week, Connor found a photo of Rachel in a drawer. He held it up and said, "Is this my mum when she was little?" "Yes," I said, "that's your mom. She looks happy." She was. We all were. What happened? I thought about how to answer that. About the complexity of people and choices and the ways we hurt each other sometimes. About how the daughter in that photo and the woman who tried to steal my house could be the same person. Life happened, I finally said. Sometimes people lose their way. But you and your sister, you're going to be okay because you know what really matters. What's that, Grandma? That home isn't just a place. It's the people who love you, the ones who show up, the ones who choose you, and you, my sweet boy, are always chosen. He hugged me. And in that moment, in my kitchen with my grandson's arms around me and the sun coming through the window Marcus installed 30 years ago, I knew I'd made the right choice. I'd saved my home. But more than that, I'd saved myself. And at 61 years old, that's the best thing I've ever done.